guys, welcome back to my channel. Um, this past weekend, I was given access to watch Zack Snyder's Justice League, and it was amazing. I It's 4 hours long, 4 hours and 3 minutes, with including the introduction from Zack Snyder and the credits. I think it was like a total of maybe 5, 7 minutes. But oh my god. Okay, I was worried that it's 4 hours. It's 4 hours long. So I was worried that well, there has to be moments where it's very slow and there has to be setup. A lot of talking. Going on. I was worried that some of that was going to happen and basically just be boring, a boring part of the film. But no, none of that happened. Everything that happened, everything that was added back to the film, everything worked. Um, this movie, this movie felt like there was more at stake. In 2017, Justice League, you know, we knew, okay, Steppenwolf is here, for the mother boxes, but why now? Oh, the trailer was like, this next part is actually a Disney one too, where there's no more, lanterns, there's no more Kryptonians, This is, those lines are still in this movie, but in the other one, it felt forced. Like, okay, just Steppenwolf, go get the mother boxes, and that's it. And for what purpose? And like, it did not feel like it felt like a forced story just to bring the heroes together. It, I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a train going, so ignore that noise if you can hear it. Um, yeah, it felt forced, and to me, it honestly did. I enjoyed for what it was. You know, I enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie. I own it completely. Um, but I knew there was a lot of problems in that film, and this one, this one's amazing, and I cannot wait for you, all of you guys that get to see this review. I can't wait for you guys to actually see the film itself. Um, there are some of my some things that I did not like about the first version of the film was when Steppenwolf is in talking to the Amazons, and he tells them, "You will love me. You will all love me." Like that felt like weird to me. Like, okay, that's very. I don't know. It was just weird to me that he say something like that, and then also where Flash trips and he lands on top of Wonder Woman. I'm like, okay, that looks just like Age of Ultron when Mark Ruffalo lands on top of Black Widow. Now we know that those actually were shot by Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon did the rewrites, reshot those scenes for Steppenwolf and those scenes for Ezra Miller and Gal Gadot. Those scenes are not in this movie. He does not tell Steppenwolf does not tell them you will love me. Like it feels forced. Like, oh, you're gonna love me one way or another, or like it's just not a good line for you know what I mean. If yeah, knowing what's going on with Joss Whedon, yeah, that's not a good line. Telling women that you will love me, you will love me no matter what. Um, and also the Ezra Miller tripping over and landing on top of Wonder Woman. Yeah, that scene is not in this movie. That there, and that scene of Ezra Miller on the Flash that we got to see in the first teaser that they released at Comic Con in 2016, I believe, where they show Flash, and they pushes one of the parademons. Oh, it's back in this movie, and I forgot about that scene. I forgot about that sequence actually, and I saw it happen. Oh my god, it was amazing. And I'm not gonna spoil the movie, but I will give you guys a few bits and pieces here and there of what happened. For example, in this original version of the movie, Zack Snyder's Justice League, um, the Flash is not just saving the people that were being kidnapped by the parademons. There's more going on in that scene alone. Just to give you guys an idea of how much they actually changed it to from the one that came out in theaters. Like he's not just getting people here. You go over there now you're safe. No, no, no. There's a lot more to that. And this whole thing that Joss Whedon only went back to do minor reshoots. It's okay. That's a big, big fucking lie. Because you're watching this movie, I'm like, that's the scene from the other movie, but it starts different. And then okay, those things are just like the how we watch it in theaters, but it continues to play on differently, and the way that sequence, that scene ends, is also way different and than what we got in theaters. Um, Another example would be in 2017 version of Justice League, we Bruce Wayne and Alfred tried to get Lois as the device, that would calm Superman down. If something goes wrong when they bring Superman back to life, Lois Lane will be the key to, hey, calm down, got him. um, you know, in this version, they don't do that. She was never approached by Bruce or Alfred or anything like that. She just happens to be there because she has this routine of going through, going right there where they have the monument of Superman. She has a routine of going there, talking to the police officer, offering him coffee, every day, every time that she goes there. That's her routine. And this one time that she happened to be there is when they resurrect Superman. So she sees it. She sees it happening. She was already there. And that whole sequence right there where they're fighting Superman is a bit longer. There's more action and oh man, there was a little funny moment with Aquaman and the Flash right there. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Oh, but the Flash. Let me tell you. When we are introduced to the Flash in the film is where this scene that they shows in the trailers where Iris West car accident, and Barry steps in and saves her. That scene, it's a bit longer. Obviously, we only got to see a bit of it in the trailer, and it's amazing the way they do that. I honestly believe that scene alone tops anything that Fox ever did with Quicksilver. I'm not even lying. That scene alone of Flash doing what he does. Actually, you know what? No, 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 no. Oh, there's another scene that he does at the end, and I'm not gonna tell you what that is because that's actually a big spoiler. Um, and but that scene right there, okay, something the way that he acts those scenes, you could tell that Zack Snyder, everybody behind that film, when they were casting, they were looking for they were not looking for someone that can look like this character, that can fit in this costume, that can do, no, they wanted talent, and he has it. And in that scene alone, the reason why he's at that one store or location where he breaks out of the window, he's there for a job, to get a job, to get a job. as a dog walker, I believe. And he sees the accident. He goes outside. He saves her. But like it all happens like that, right? So while that was happening, he was doing the interview with the manager inside, and in the blink of an eye, he's no longer there, and she's like, okay, well, there's an accident. What's going on? Like she's shocked, right? Like she was just interviewing this guy, and then there's this accident. Where'd he go? Then we look to the side, and Ezra Miller is right there on the floor playing with some dogs, and like, so do I start Monday? Like just the way that he delivers those lines. I'm telling you, that I believe if that movie was in theaters, playing in theaters, that scene alone would like was gonna be one of those scenes that make everybody laugh because it was really that it was funny the way it was played out and yeah, at towards the end, they cut so much from 2017. The Flash, Flash does so much more in this movie. In the end, fight sequence, he does so much more than just be there and push people away. You're going to see this in the actual film. Like he does so much more, and then he has to run faster than he ever does because something happens. Something happens. I kind of want to tell you guys, but I don't want to spoil it. Steppenwolf has all three mother buckets already. They need to make sure that they don't unite because if they unite, everybody's dead. Um, and after that sequence, he does this thing, and cannot wait for you guys to watch that part. I know you guys are gonna be blown away. And Aquaman, there was more to him in this film. Like we got to see more of Willem the. Actually, we didn't even get to see Willem Dafoe in the first one, in the first version of the film. Because I know that he was cast and he filmed scenes, but they never showed us those scenes in the film. But yeah, he's in this, and I really like his character, and you could tell that in this in Zack Snyder's version of true version of Justice League. Because remember, this movie, his version was supposed to come out 2017, and then Aquaman was supposed to come out later, a year after, I believe. So this movie was clearly laying foundation for Aquaman's movie. Like it was all there. Like obviously we know what happens now in Aquaman's movie because we all seen it already. But it's just nice to see this version of the film where they actually laid the groundwork, for that film. And even those scenes where Steppenwolf arrives right there at to retrieve the mother box, and like the whole fight sequence with Mara, like it's different than the actual the one from the past. That's gonna be the theme right now. Everything's different, same but different. It's confusing, I know, but in Wonder Woman, in the beginning of the film where she's at that she's saving those children. It also played out differently. Um, Things happen, nothing big. It was just more like an introduction to her character in that film. But it was nice the way it played out, way better than what we got before. And Cyborg, man, again, like I mentioned earlier, they were not casting people that can look like the part that they're meant to play. They were casting talent, and I believe Ray Fisher was a stage performer, a stage actor, and usually those are one of the best actors because they're acting live in front of you, and there's no time, there's no room for error, there's no room for okay, can we do another take, can we do another one? No, no, you gotta act on the spot. And this film showed us that he has that talent. There's a reason why Zack got this guy to be in his film. And out of all the story that they cut out of the 2017 film, Ray Fisher's story, Cyborg, um, he's the one that suffered the most because there was so much more to him in this film. There was so much more backstory to with his parents, with the relation that he had is with his mother. His father was never there for him because he's always working, and they had that accident happen where she dies, and like it was more. There was heart to all those scenes. Like you could tell that Zack was passionate about this work, about this film, about the material because it showed in that movie, and especially in those scenes with Cyborg, especially the relationship between him and his father. Like he did not hate his father, but he did not also like him at one point because he was never there. He's always working, always making excuses, things like that. But later on, he's like, "You're my dad." He was his father was kidnapped. Like no matter what happens, you're my dad. Like he's all that he got left, and it was really it was very touching. I really enjoy those things, and I can see why Zack said that Cyborg was the heart of the movie because he really was. And in Batman v Superman, we get a nightmare sequence, right? And through Bruce Wayne's eyes, through Bruce Wayne's memories or dreams, whatever, we get one of those sequences. In this one, we get two of those. One of them is through Cyborg when he turns on the Kryptonian ship. When he turns on, he sees something of what's to come, and it rhymes with Superman. um, Losing someone, and then later we get another nightmare sequence, like again through Bruce Wayne, and that's the cliffhanger that they're talking about because the way it ends, you just want to know what happens next. Like okay, and another thing that it was okay. Something that I found disappointing, but not in that way, was how they laid out the groundwork for future movies, and we know now that some of those movies are not going to happen. I mean, it all depends on the success of this film. If it's a big hit, maybe there's a chance that Warner Bros. Might be like, okay, let's do this. But again, I don't know, because Walter Hamada right now, and I don't know if it's gonna happen, but I really hope it does because they laid the groundwork for what would be Justice League 2 and 3, but they also laid out the groundwork for what could have been Ben Affleck's Batman, and that's this the after credit scene in the 2017 Justice League movie where Deathstroke after he arrives to the yacht with Lex Luthor, he it's the same scene, but the way it starts, it's the same. But the way once they start talking, it's different because they're not talking about shouldn't we have a league of our own. No, they don't talk about anything like that. Lex is there to help uh, Wade Wilson. That's his name, right? I believe that's his name. He's there to help him with some information because Deathstroke wants to go after Batman, and Lex Luthor gives him some information that can help him in that, you know, in that matter. And he reveals to him who Batman is, and see, so right there, and now that we know by reports that Joe, I can never say his last name, Magdaleno, the reports that he said before about what was that movie supposed to be, you kind of got a hint of that based on that conversation that they were having. Because he let you know that for him, this is personal. He's going after Batman, personal reasons. And I just hope. I mean, like, we were not supposed to get this movie, but yet it's going to be available in a few days. So you never know if they can restore the Snyderverse. Because I hope they do. I really hope they do because it cannot end like this. The way it plays out, and it cannot end like that. There has to be more to this. But again, what else can I tell you? I mean, the story. I didn't really talk about the story, but I think I mentioned the story earlier about, in the other version is Steppenwolf, get the mother boxes, boom. There's more to that in this movie. There's way more to that. It's not just about getting the mother boxes. It's about, well, I don't want to tell you the other part because I want you guys to be. Let's just say it turns out there's another weapon on our planet than evil people, like evil entities like Darkseid can use to destroy or control life, anti-life equation. Um, so there's more to that, and I don't want to. Again, I don't want to say way too much because I want you guys to experience this on your own. I know I gave you guys a few little spoilers here and there, but they're very. I feel like they were very minor